The minister, Fikile Mbalula, he laid a charge of crime and injuria at the Stanton police station. We'll tell you why he might allude to it. Let's just quickly listen in.
The African National Congress. Owing to my elected position and allegations against me impugns not just my family name, but the immediate institution I am associated with, and that is the African National Congress. In the South African political parlance, it has become too easy to soil one another, and particularly the ANC, with the corruption allegations. If individuals are corrupt, or it is alleged that they are corrupt, that has got absolutely nothing to do with the African National Congress. It is those individuals who must account for their alleged corrupt activities. Mdwaba makes spurious allegations against the leadership of government and the ANC on spurious allegations of corruption. Corruption is a serious problem that afflicts our nation and impacts negatively. It eats away at the very important gains of democracy. It defers the dreams of the nation, black and white. I have opened a case of crimen injuria and defeating the ends of justice against Mr. Mdwaba today, because I want to make a clear statement on behalf of my family and the African National Congress. Let us encourage those with evidence of corruption to come forward, and when they do so, they must be protected. But equally, let us not tolerate the generalization of the crime that is corruption to a point where it can be used as slander, which has no physical consequences but erodes the dignity of another. I've never supported corrupt activities. In fact, I dare say I'm the first person to stand up in the National Executive Committee meeting of the ANC and point out that we have a Gupta problem. My name will not be associated with corruption. Renewal demands of us to take these allegations seriously to a point where we must not tolerate attempts to make light of corruption. It is in my considered view, and I remain steadfast in that my image and my dignity as a human being has been dented by these reckless and unfounded utterances by Mdwaba, which I categorically deny. It is further my view that this distasteful depiction violated my individual right to dignity as contained in the Constitution of our country. As a law-abiding citizen of our country, having unconditional trust in our justice system and our law enforcement agencies, accompanied by my lawyers, came to the Stanton police station to lay a charge of crimen injuria, defeating the ends of justice, as well as contravention of Section 34, subsection 4 of PRECA, Prevention and Combating of Criminal Activities Act. The law requires and compels any person who holds a position of power, who knows or reasonably to have known or suspected that any other person has committed an offense of corruption in terms of sections 3 to 16 or 20 to 21 of Prevention and Combating of Criminal Activities Act, or theft, fraud, extortion, forgery, or uttering of a forged document involving an amount of 100,000 rand or more, must report such knowledge or suspicion, or cause such knowledge or suspicion to be reported to DPCI Section 34 subsection 2 of subsection 2 of the PRECA provides that any person who fails to report such corrupt activities is guilty of a criminal offense with a potential custodial sentence. I have this morning instructed my lawyers to send a letter of demand to Mr. Mdwaba. Should he fail to retract all his malicious and defamatory statements about me, my legal team will approach our courts to compel him and seek appropriate relief, on top of the case of criminal injury that I've opened here in this police station. Our society, our families, our children should not be subjected to acrimonious, malicious, and reckless statements, causing irreparable emotional and psychological harm, subjecting me to be tried and judged by the public courts. I reject with all the contempt it deserves. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, SG. We're going to take...
That's the Secretary General of the African National Congress, Fikile Mbalula, outside the Sandton police station. He's just laid charges of criminal injury and defeating the ends of justice against Mdwaba, who is the CEO of Tuja Capital. And the allegation there, according to Mdwaba, is that 3 ministers, including the Secretary General of the ANC, had tried to solicit a bribe from him for a UIF contract worth 5 billion rand, and that amounted then to 500 million rand that they allegedly tried to siphon from him as what was called gateway fees or a bribe.
So that's a particular issue now being handed over to the police with their charge of crime and injury. I can assure you this story is not going away anytime soon.